There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming now. We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Singing like Ali, rocking our bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
Magandang gabi mga Summoners, match point na tayo dito sa 2018 Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Spring Playoff Semifinals between Mineski versus BRE Esports, kung saan nga 2-0 na tayo lamang of course para sa Mineski, pero tingnan natin clean 3-0 kaya ng Mineski to o lalaban pa bang BRE para at least force to into a 2-1 just to keep the dream alive of making it to the finals. Pero bago natin pag-usapan yan na maigi, pakilala muna kami bilang casters nyo para sa game na to, Arctic at Yo Service Time, at syempre kasama ko si Chisto.
Yeah, and of course, gusto ko yung sinabi mo, tignan natin kung lalaban pa yung BRE Esports, pero mukha namang palaban sila eh.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see them put up a fight for this game because it is match point para dito sa Mineski, but I think we kind of predicted this outcome, Arctic, in a sense where, yeah, nakakuha nga ng upset yung BRE ng quarterfinals, pero ibang kwento ang Mineski compared to IPT during the quarters for BRE. But yeah, this is the score update right now. And actually, it looks like Aplong will be subbing in for Jaime in the mid lane. So maybe that change will help BRE here. And I think there's a bit of tilt setting in for Jaime because the last two games, you were forced to pick Galio and Sion.
Yeah.
And a player that wants to carry the game. That's a bit tilting, Arctic, in my opinion.
I'd have to agree with you. And I mean, by history, we are able to give this type of insight. Kasi parang nating nakatrabaho si Jaime. And kumbaga, para sa ating dalawa, you think of it as a way na actually limiting pa to sa kung ano yung alam nating kaya ni Jaime. So, baka nga, maybe nagkakaroon ng factor na there could be a tilt na medyo probably Jaime is not quite up to par with what happened as of the past two games kasi Aptong ang maglalaro. But then again, I think I have talked to Jaime before and he also believes in Aptong's potential. So I think this isn't just necessarily just Jaime maybe not having that same proof that he had in games 1 and 2. Pero feeling ko, BRE might have something up their sleeve as far as why they would field Aptong for this very crucial game 3.
Yeah, of course, crucial nga itong game 3. And looking back at what happened nung second game, Lando actually popped off on the Fiora because of the amount of resources na binigay sa kanya ni XDXV in the early game. He was able to get a lot of kills, but looks like that Fiora will be banned away from Lando, one of his really signature picks, and Galio will be denied from Mineski. Looks like wala munang heroes entrance for this game. Tingnan natin ano ang magiging last ban ng Mineski. It will be the Shen. So one of the flex picks actually that BRE wants to run will be denied from them. They're currently hovering over the Talia for Aptong. Oh, it is locked in. So with that, the Talia will have a lot of wave clear in the mid lane. Will have a lot of side lane pressure. But with the Talia being locked in, it does give up Kaigu's gangplank, which in my opinion, just one of the strongest champions in the game at the moment.
Agreed. And interesting enough though, I mean, with this Talia para dito kay Aptong, ang gusto ko talagang makita is to whether or not Aptong can at least make the optimal plays across the map once he does have access to his reverse wall. And I wonder if BRE can make those type of sets though. But interesting enough, mukhang bibigay ng Mineski itong Syndra kay James to go head-to-head with Aptong's Talia.
Yeah, and mukhang hindi kailangan ng Mineski hold up yung mid laner nila until yung last pick because BRE first pick a mid laner. Mukhang ang counter pick na dadali ni James ay yung Syndra. And I think Syndra matches up well versus the Talia, regardless of Talia being the more agile roamer in a sense where Syndra just wants to stay in lane. Syndra can one-shot practically any squishy in this game, but yeah, it looks like Apto will have to be a bit careful, especially laning versus James' Syndra.
And meanwhile, interesting. So, looks like we are gonna be seeing the Gnar from Lando. So I'm wondering how this is gonna pan out though. So we're not gonna be seeing something that's like super snowball carry heavy like we did in the form of his Fiora earlier. So a little bit of a balance.
Yeah,
here.
mukhang hindi tayo makakuha ng carry, hindi rin tayo makakuha ng tank. We're gonna get something quite in the middle, which is Nar in the top lane. So nakikita natin, can Lando once again be a split push threat to really pressure Mineski? But it looks like the past few games, Kaiko has done a really great job of containing Lando.
Oh man, wow, is this gonna be? I see a Poppy Hover coming in from Varsity X Rage Esports. So,
Is that a jungle Poppy?
is it? I guess
It's Nar can jungle. Nar's definitely going to the top lane. So I think the Poppy pickup is actually a smart choice here. It denies a lot of the engage coming from Jun's Zac.
Yeah.
So I think we saw this from Naga a few weeks. Yeah, I think we saw this from Naga. Eco played Poppy, which denied a lot of the engages from the elastic slingshot. So maybe that's the counter pick that BRE are going for him. The last pick though for Mineski will be the Morgana to be paired up with the Caitlyn.
interesting though. I mean, with this Poppy pick, gaya nga ng sinabi mo kanina, it was iconic that used it for Naga. Although for this time around, it's gonna be the jump to Poppy. So it's XTXP that's gonna be utilizing this pick right here. So
That's interesting. We haven't seen Poppy jungle in a while. I think this has been played competitive. I just forget what region, but
it's been a while.
it's been definitely a while, especially here in the PGS. But XDXV is one of those junglers na hindi takot maglabas ng mga bagong bagay. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Will this trick up BRE sleeve be the thing that mounts their comeback versus Mineski? Because they are down 0-2, but reverse sweeps do happen, especially versus Mineski.
Nako, alam naman natin yan. And of course, for Varsity X Rage Esports, kaya nga sabi ko, it's definitely a much more of a massive challenge kung ikukumpara mo sa quarterfinals game nila against Imperium Pro teams. Kumbaga, is this as far as they go in the playoffs? I guess malalaman natin yan kung patatag pa rin ba ang will ng Varsity X Rage Esports going up against Mineski as we head on to the Kita Kits. Oh man, this is it. Is this gonna be the last we see of Varsity X Rage Esports for this playoffs? Or ipapakita ba nilang they still have what it takes to contend with Mineski and potentially go for the massive reverse sweep? As we head into game 3, let's go guys.
Alam mo, Arctic, regardless of Mineski being up 2-0, I think for the past 2 games, BRE have been able to hold their own versus Mineski very well. Parang they're not just letting Mineski stomp them in a sense where they're actually matching up. And for a few of these games, BRE have been the ones that have been more proactive. I think for the past 2 games, they were the first team to pick up first blood.
I'd have to agree with you there. And at the same time, you also have to take into account na it's not just Mineski going for plays pretty much nung game 1, game 2. Nakita rin naman natin na Varsity X Rage Esports themselves, they try to bring proactivity onto the side of Mineski by going for plays. A lot of which were, in all fairness, successful in the earlier phases. Yung nga lang, the transition wasn't as strong for game 1 nor game 2. It was a little bit of a struggle to try to at least reach yung optimal scaling na kaya nilang marating. But I guess then again, I mean, I want to talk about this Poppy pick again kasi ito yung sinasabi ni XDXP nung nakausap ko. Actually, interview to before quarterfinals na talagang may mga picks silang ready for playoffs na hindi natin masyadong nakita ng game nila against IPT. So feeling ko, realizing just how big the stakes are with them 2-0 right now against 0-2 actually, if you're gonna look at it from the side of Varsity X Rage Esports. Feeling ko, ito na yung pagkakataon na na-realize na nilang they have to take these risks as far as what niche picks that they can bring to the table na pwedeng in a way pang gulat sa Mineski, but it's kind of tricky with how things have been going so far in these first 2 games.
Yan, alam mo, Arctic, I think the reason kung bakit di natin nakita tong Poppy galing kay XDXP nung series nila laban sa IPT is because I think she's more of that situational pick na they pick her for the counter to the Zac because her W does deny the engage coming from Elastic Slingshot, which is probably Zac's most important ability because it gets him into team fights. So that denial, the fact that BRE have the option to deny the engage of Mineski is huge in this game. But we're yet to see it pan out because it's still very early into the game. Wala pa nga 3 minutes, Arctic. Pinag-uusapan na natin kung ano yung pwede mangyari pag nag-meet up tong mga junglers ito. Mukhang si Ames, since he was able to shove out mid lane, will put a ward. So ngayon, alam na ng Mineski kung nasan tong si XDXP. More information to work with, makakapag-ingat sila sa lane.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you brought that up though na when we were talking about Poppy, gaya nga nang na-mention mo, it's something na hindi pa masyadong magma-manifest until we reach later parts of the game. Kung baga, oo, magandang presence ng Poppy once we hit those team fights. Pero as far as the laning phase, the rest of BRE, they still have to fend for themselves against June potentially going for ganks in these lanes. Kasi, yun nga, I mean, XDXP obviously isn't laning. So, hindi nila may-utilize yung W to deny Elastic Slingshot initiates into potential ganks nga dito sa first few minutes into the game. So, I guess we'll just have to see how that pans out. I'm wondering if June can at least maximize yung potential niya with Elastic Slingshot into potential kills. No, hindi pa siya masyadong na-influensyahan ng W ni XDXP.
Oh, speaking of XDXP and June, they're gonna meet up in the jungle.
Yeah, they're gonna kinda meet up earlier on, pero mukhang si Kaigo ang unang makaka-responde dito. XDXP, he's gonna want to try to back away. He doesn't take quite a bit of damage right there. He'll survive just fine. Will manage to back away without needing to expend any of his summoners.
Yeah, mukhang mag-aasaran lang sila doon. Hindi mo na sila maglalaban ng full-on because yeah, it's very early into the game. You don't want to go for that risky play. And feeling ko kapag dumating si Lando doon, the fight would have turned in BRE's favor.
Yeah.
Wisely enough, he did back off his bot lane.
Wow, TG actually forced to flash away, pero in the midst of that, Ardai, he's looking very, very low, has to back away, has to respect the damage coming in from Gary. So, still though, not a bad trade-off right there, pero nandito rin si James, he's gonna make a rotation. Ardai, he has to be very careful, looks like he's gonna dodge out of that dark spear, but ooh, okay. Everything is all good. Man, James, he's been around this map.
Yeah, you'd think Talia would be the one to rotate bot lane
Yeah.
at 4 minutes to go for the roam, but it's actually James pulling the trigger here. And I think Vulcan highlighted this where James is really, really proactive as a mid laner na whenever he gets to shove his lane, hindi siya mahihiyang mag-roam up and try to get pressure in. Just like that roam, he was able to burn the heal from Ardai and the flash as well from Shanna's Alistar, which is probably the strongest ability. Oh, wait up.
Oh, XDXP, he's gonna try for something. Looks like that is gonna be the shield to potentially deny a shove-in from XDXP. BRE will have to back away. So a little bit of a missed out opportunity there because of the black shield.
Man, imagine if Shanna had her flash for that gank.
Yeah.
If James hadn't burned that, that would definitely have been an engage and potentially a summoner spell burn on the side of Mineski. But see the results of James' roam. It manifests there. There's so much safety in this bot lane duo of Mineski. It's incredibly difficult to gank a Morgana Caitlyn lane kasi merong black shield yung Morgana
And I think,
and yung range of Caitlyn.
exactly. And ito talaga nakakita natin yung kumbaga yung long-term effects nung nagagawa ng proactivity ng Mineski so far. Kumbaga, it might not necessarily result to casualties. Pero as far as, let's say, yung safety sa lane or at least what room they have to work with without needing to worry about certain advantages that Bar 6 Rage Esports might have with their kit, it's pretty much been a good show here so far.
Teka, andito si XDXP. He's flanked around Fission.
But
I don't think nakita siya ng Mineski.
yeah. Oh, looks like Shanna's gonna go for the initiate. XDXP, he's gonna start to come in. Looks like they're gonna go for TG. TG will suffer as the first casualty of this game as first blood goes to Bar 6 Rage Esports.
Yeah, well played. And another first blood for XDXP. He's always been working to give his team first blood. Just during the previous games, ang hindi lang talaga nangyayari is after that first blood, it sort of falls apart. Now, BRE, I want to see them build on this first blood.
I'd agree with you there.
Get
Cheese.
more leads. Because they already have first blood. Let's
Yeah.
get more.
Yeah, and I think with more build up there, that's actually something I want to see from Bar 6 Rage Esports. Kasi ito yung pinag-usapan namin ni Vulcan kanina na yung nakikita natin improvement from Bar 6 Rage Esports, pretty much culmination na itong nakita natin sa playoffs. Pero it's undeniable pa rin na may improvement, pero they still have a little bit of the sickness, yung weaknesses pa rin nila that still kind of shows every now and then. And I think one of those is the fact that in the earlier phases, minsan magandang simula nila, but heading into the later part, sometimes that's where the disconnect starts to happen. That's sometimes where they start fumbling with the ball a bit. So I'd like to see if they could at least reach that point right there and build up from this. At least it's not exactly a massive start right here, but it's workable nonetheless.
Yeah, kailangan mo maging consistent, Arte. That's really what you have to do in League of Legends. If you get a lead, get more from it. As June has snuck up here in the bot lane. The bush is with a control ward, so hindi nakita ng BRE yun. They will be backing off for now. I do think they spotted the Zac over the Blast Cone because that control ward around the Blast Cone did not disable the ward that they placed earlier, so
Yeah.
smart ward. by BRE, able to dodge around
Oh!
toward the Niles and engage.
That was a massive... I was surprised right there. Shanna just went straight at TG. And unfortunately, TG was not able to react right away. Wow.
Okay, parehas tayo nagulat doon. Nagtago yung BRE sa atin, Arctic.
Oo nga
Talaga,
eh.
pati tayo ginulat doon. But yeah, this is what BRE has to do. Ito yung kailangan nilang gawin. Nakuha nila first blood, why not build on it? Just like that, they're building on it as Jun is channeling his plastic slingshot.
Yes, looks like Jun though gonna seek vengeance for their fallen comrade in the form of TG. Ardai, he's trying to back away. Patuloy pa rin hinabol ni Jun. Luckily, ultimate is up for Ardai. Let's bounce. Looks like Jun is gonna make his way out of there. No casualties. BRE will escape just fine, even with that gang coming in from Jun. But yeah, I'd have to agree with what you were saying earlier, Chisto. What I like about this scenario is, during Game 2 especially, we didn't really feel much of Ardai because of how he kind of fell behind and how he was easily taken down by the members of Mineski kapag nagkaroon sila ng heavy initiate onto the marksman ng Varsity XRH Esports. So nakakatuwa na at least heading into his game 3, we're seeing a little bit of a shift of power na Ardai, he may potentially be the key for BRE this time kapag gaya nga ng sabi mo, consistency is key pa rin if they could keep that up.
Yan, alam mo Arctic, I think part of the reason kung bakit nung game 1 and 2 hindi natin nakitang nag-pop off si Ardai is because TG was playing a support he could dive Ardai on. He was playing the Alistar and the Leona. Now though, he's playing a Morgana, much less, I mean, in a sense, Morgana is, you can't go as aggressive compared to an Alistar or a Leona. That's why Ardai has had more freedom to move around here and that's allowing him to play a bit more aggressively.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing here, I mean, dahil sa build-up na to ng Varsity XRH Esports dito sa botlane, medyo nakikita rin natin yung signature confidence ni Shanna na starts to roam across the map, look for windows of opportunity to assist other lanes, particularly kapag may nakitang opportunity, especially dito sa mid lane, which is a little bit more of the accessible lane. I mean, we do see, in all fairness naman kay Shanna, nung group stage, may mga biglaang moments na even the enemies wouldn't expect na may transition siya towards the top side, especially so early on in the game. So, let's see if this will actually benefit.
See it though.
Yeah.
Wala po.
Oh.
Meganar.
Looks like Lando is going for it onto Kaigu. Kaigu will back away though.
That's just a bit of damage.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
May heal up ni Kaigo yun. To just get thrown to a wall. Medyo simple. But Kaigo in this matchup, all he really needs to do is survive until Lando can't kill him.
Yeah, pretty much. But so far, so good. We are seeing BRE do quite well. Mineski though, I wouldn't be surprised though in the later parts, we will see a little bit more resolve from them going into the bigger fights here. Varsity XRH Esports can't play their cards right here. Kasi in all fairness, on paper, gaya nga ng sinasabi natin, mas makikita natin yung benefit ng poppy pick ni XDXP into the bigger fights, especially with the full life drives, 9 June potential initiate. So we're just gonna, it's yet to be seen though.
Okay, it looks like we missed what happened, but Apdong has his flash on cooldown. Mukhang Jun went for a gank, but we talked about Shanna roaming.
Yes, Shanna, 2-man
Here's
knock onto the members of Mineski. Pero mukhang susupportan siya ni TG. Shanna might have bit off more than she can chew right here. 3 members of Mineski are converging onto her, and that's going to be the ultimate that seals the deal as James gets the kill.
Yeah, kind of miscommunication there from BRE. Shanna wanted to go aggressive, but with Apdong not having flash, he doesn't have that safety tool. And with everyone being there for Mineski, just a numbers advantage, able to bully down the Alistar regardless of the ultimate, as Kaigo will just run away.
Yeah, man, we are seeing these small little trade-offs here towards the top side. But yeah, interesting enough though, Chisto. Gaya ng nakita natin, a lot of the action that we've been seeing thus far has been much more focused towards the mid to bot side. So there isn't really as much priority by either XDXP or Jun to influence the top side between Lando or Kaigo.
And alam mo, at some point, kailangan mo mag-alala, Arctic, na binabayaan na si Kaigo dito to scale on this Gangplank. Because in the previous game, they gave a lot of resources onto Lando's Fiora, given he needed a lot of gold on a champion that snowballs heavily.
Yeah.
But it looks like this game, hinahayaan na si Kaigo na makapag-farm on this Gangplank. And you really don't want that to happen, to let Kaigo reach that point na talagang he's already farmed up, he already has his items, possibly a Trinity Force in the future. And it's just such a pain to deal with him.
Yeah, and I think, if anything, I would have expected a little bit more of that proactivity towards the top side. Maybe from XDXP to help relieve that. But so far, we haven't really seen that. And I don't know, man. I think this is eventually going to be just a smooth build-up for Kaigo. Not really needing to worry about any form of pressure. And I think this also is a result of Lando playing a little bit more of a best of both worlds type of champion. Not really the master of being a
Wait
potential
up.
carrier tank. But looks like we are going to be seeing the initiative from Barcy XH Esports. Unfortunately, na hold off ng Dark Binding ni TD. So, no further pursuit ang manggagaling dito sa BRE.
It's so annoying. It's so hard to lock down the bot lane of Mineski just because of the range of safety on Caitlyn and TG having the Black Shield on Morgana as well. But now I'm looking at the items being completed by both mid laners. Abdong opted to take the Hextech GLP over something like a Seraph's Embrace, which could have possibly helped Talia more in a sense where it gives her the shield to survive the burst of the Syndra. And more mana as well for more spellcast because Talia does rely a lot on mana, but GLP will help her catch up to targets as BRE are being very, very persistent in this bot lane.
Barcy XH Esports, they're ready for round 2. They try to go for Gary, but looks like TG gonna go for the ultimate. Actually evicts Hamas just to make sure that the numbers are still balanced between both sides. It looks like BRE, they're trying to back away. That's gonna be the W. That's a nice team to initiate. Taigu getting the kill onto Ardai though. This is gonna be an all-out brawl. Barcy XH Esports, they want to converge onto Mineski. A lot of low health bars though. Looks like BRE, they were destined to win this fight. Double kill for Apdong, and looks like that will be the end of it as Barcy XH Esports end up on top in a 1-for-3.
Yeah, mukhang hindi nila mapipigilan yung BRE dun. Just the decisiveness to go for that fight regardless of their earlier attempts being blocked by TG. They bring more members and at that point it really doesn't matter because they bring 5. And even though Ardai did go down in the end, I think that's still a big win for BRE.
Yeah, and I gotta give XDXB kudos on that. Denying, again, that was exactly why this Poppy pick is so efficient in this game. Let's go check out this replay to demonstrate that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look here. It is BRE being super duper persistent in his bot lane. And man, like you mentioned, the fact that XDXB denied the damage from Syndra by knocking her away. And we see the effect of the Poppy pick. The elastic slingshot does not work and Landos teleports just as he's about to hit Mega Gnar for him. This beautiful setup by BRE. They are rewarded for it.
Yeah, looks like, I guess, as far as yung tanong natin whether or not BRE still has the fight in them to try to turn things around, they still have it in them. June looking for an opportunity though. Elastic slingshot. Is he gonna land it onto Apdong?
Flash. Okay. Mukhang hindi na itutuloy ni Jun yun because they knew that Aaliyah had flash. It is a lot of damage though. He will be forced out of lane and this will allow Hammers to get some chip damage onto the mid lane tower.
Yes, and looks like Mineski, they're going to try to go for this mid turret, get a bit of damage on it. It is a Syndra and Zac knocking on this tower though, so just a few scratches here and there. XP is going to make sure that he fends off Mineski, but still, I am pleasantly surprised by this kill difference that is kind of tilted towards the area. Can I also take note? There's still one concern that I do have. It's that Caillou has been left unchecked throughout these first 15 minutes of the game. He's just been comfortably building upon gold. And not to mention, he has that one win up. And I think it manifests here. Nakita na natin yan in terms of the gold difference na even though 5-2 tong BRE. I think Mineski, most of his gold difference is probably built up towards what Taigu has managed to rake up.
I actually want to see the gold differences and how much gold each of the champions are sitting on. Because like you mentioned, even though BRE are up in kills, lamang silang 5-2 dito, but the gold lead is still in Mineski's favor. And wala namang tower na bumagsak. So yeah, I think it would have to be the Klepto Gangplank as bot lane.
Yes, Ardai for the ultimate and flashes away. Looks like that will be a hold right there. Two members of Barcy XH Esports get bounced off into Mineski's comfort, but XCXP gonna go for the evict onto R2 to make sure any further aggression is taken down. Meanwhile, 1v1 naman dito sa mid lane. Hammers does come up on top though by bursting down Apdong.
Yeah, and that's the power of the Cinder in a 1v1 versus Talia. The Talia does not have enough single target burst damage to combat Hammers, and Hammers already has Seraph's Embrace completed, so regardless of that damage being present, kayang-kayang i-shield lang ni Hammers, whereas Apdong, he opted for the GLP. Just like that, he gets one shot by Hammers.
Yeah, and here we go. Looks like Mineski, medyo mababa na yung health ng turret na to, so that's gonna be an easy take for them. So what's wakas? First turret of the game is gonna go for Mineski, pero tingnan natin, Barcy XH Esports are gonna try to go for a play onto Mineski. Unfortunately, Mineski, nakapag-back sila in time to the safety.
Oh, they're gonna get more towers here.
Yeah.
I don't think Lando will be here in time. That's already 2 towers onto the side of 3 towers on the side of Mineski.
And ito yung sinasabi natin, Chisto, na even with the earlier minutes going well for Barca XH Esports, come the mid game, once you start looking at the bigger picture, that's where they start fumbling a bit. But then again, I don't necessarily blame it on Barca XH Esports. I think it's mostly more on how Mineski rotated within the last minute or so, which allowed them to take all first-tier turrets in one get-go.
Oh, Shanna does not have ult here. But Ardai is dealing a lot of damage.
Yeah, Gary took quite a bit there. Ardai will have to respect and just kind of back away himself. But June, he's in the vicinity. Meanwhile, another fight happening. Apdong, unfortunately, tried to bank on his little health. Does eventually go down though, but Arda, he's not done just yet. He's going to try to go for more targets. TG and Gary, they're quite low right there, but looks like June is going to seal the deal. Unfortunately for Arda, is not able to capitalize on Gary and TG. Oh, TG actually did go down.
Yeah, he got TG at the end with his blade car, but going back to the mid lane, Talia does not have enough damage to burst down this Syndra, and James, kayang-kaya niyang patayin si Apdong sa matchup na because even though Apdong has the Merc traits, he doesn't have the benefit of the shield. He's going for Seraph's Embrace, so the choice of items kind of costing him in this 1v1.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky here for Apdong, and this is pretty much do or die for Barca XH Esports. They can't afford even these small minor mistakes anymore. They have to be on point, whether it be in terms of how they rotate, in terms of even right down to itemization. That's very crucial. And I think because of these small mishaps right here, these small minor mistakes, nakita naman natin kung anong value, kung ano yung ginagawa ng Mineski para mag-capitalize sa mga shortcomings na yun ng BRE.
Yeah, wala nang ibang way na i-describe the situation na napasok ng BRE. This is definitely do or die for them. So far, ang ganda ng naging run nila in their first EGS split. Ang tanong dito, can they extend it even further? Because Mineski, they look to take everything from them. Infernal Drake, just gonna snowball their lead even further.
Okay, so nonetheless, with Mineski starting to build up, let's go ahead and check out what angles Barca XRH Esports can come back. Because gaya nga ng sinasabi natin, it's the fine details that are kind of making it a break for Barca XRH Esports. Although, one thing I am looking for is that, actually, ito yung tanong ko, even during the drafting phase na, makikita ba natin yung mga set ni Apdong na sobrang influential para isway itong laro na to para sa BRE? But wow! Looks like June gonna get caught up right there. Two members of Barca Esports got carried on for the ride, but here comes the rest of Mineski to try to balance things out. Is this gonna be out into a full-on fight? Lando joins the fray as well, but here comes Gary. But ooh, the damage from James is just too much, as Shana will be the first casualty in the fight. Looks like XP might be the next. Unfortunately, it's not able to evict anybody from the members of Mineski. Passive will be popped up for June to make him survive to tell the tale. That's gonna be an ultimate pop up right there. DG does not land the Dark Blinding though. Looks like the rest of BRE, they're trying to disperse, but XCSB is going to go down. Hammers is now on a rampage. That Syndra is hurting. There's no tomorrow. But Lando, oh, he tries to make a play, but gets dark. He gets blinded.
Oh, Arda still going.
Is he going to get anything out of this? He's looking very, very low, but looks like Kaigu is going to clean things up. BRE, they try to go for more things, but in the nick of time, Kaigu salvages.
Are they going to go for the Baron here? I think this is a very risky. Kaigu can tank a bit of it. Let's see how Mineski plays this out.
Yes, this is going to be a little bit of a balancing act for Mineski right here. Kaigu takes
here.
First initial damage, but June looks like he's still...
Okay, they're fine, they're fine.
And that's going to be Baron Asher for Mineski.
And Mineski just got a massive lead in this game. They were ahead earlier, but now the lead has just practically doubled now that they have the Baron buff. Let's go ahead and look at the replay of this fight. It all starts out by Barcy trying to set the trap onto the Zac, but he's too tanky. They weren't able to deal enough damage to kill the Zac instantly. And now the rest of Mineski arrives, and BRE, they have to run now. They need to get away, and with the Alistar going down, there's nobody left to frontline. RA still hasn't joined the fight until now. And at this stage, really, BRE just has to run away from Mineski.
And I appreciate the initiative coming in from Barca XRH Esports, but I feel like you also have to take into account, gaya nga sinasabi natin, Apdong has been having a little bit of a struggle going up against the Syndra here. But let's go ahead and look at this extended fight. Unfortunately, nakita naman natin yung effort ng Barca XRH Esports to try to turn things around.
I think at this point, it's too much.
Exactly.
Sinobrahan na ni Ardai dito. He didn't have to go for this aggressive move, and it cost his team the Baron. It even baits in Apdong to go for the more aggressive play.
Again, these small details that eventually, I think that's the tricky part right here. With this, even the most minor mistake, it just leads to a huge explosion. That doesn't, and by explosion, I mean, it just blows up in BRE's space right now. I mean, as much as I want to try to look for windows of opportunity for BRE, I think the unfortunate thing here is that a lot of their proactivity has been causing them a lot of these deficiencies in team fights.
Yeah, and looking at team fights, I mean, Mineski, yes, they can siege towers, but one thing they can't do or will be very difficult for them is actually force a dive versus BRE, because we mentioned what the Poppy does versus the Zac. Oo nga, kayang-kaya mag-push ng Mineski ng towers, but wait up, there's an engagement mid lane.
Yeah, Shana tries to go for it. Looks like that's going to be Hamas. He's getting quite converted when he's trying to walk this out. Unfortunately, the damage is just too much. BRE, the numbers are working in their favor. That's finally a shutdown onto Hamas right there, but things aren't done just yet. Looks like the rest of Mineski are still looking to raring to go. June is a little bit low, but take note, Baron Nashor is on their side. BRE, they're a little bit more careful here. They had to back away. I mean, after all that happened, a lot of members went low in there.
Yeah, ang dami nilang ginamit. Whoa, June's going in.
Oh, Shana unfortunately not able to survive the Total Fail there. And looks like Mineski, ipapatuloy pa rin nila itong pag-siege. BRE, are they gonna try to make a play here? 3 members of Mineski, they are starting to back away though. Respetuin nila yung numbers ng BRE dito.
Yeah, and ngayon.
Okay, Gary, I guess not.
Teka, isiya mo lang. Kalmahan mo lang si Lando.
You have to take note, in the midst of that, while Mineski was providing quite a decent distraction here, Kaigu was just flitting towards the bot lane. BRE, they're at a point wherein they have to start choosing what they want to salvage here. Of course, it was much more important to salvage that inhibitor turret, but at the cost of that, unti-unti nang nawawalan ng resources ang BRE.
Yeah, and speaking of resources that BRE has, I want to go back to my previous talking point kung saan sinabi ko, yes, kaya ng Mineski mag-push with the Caitlyn. Just put the black shield onto her and she has enough range to knock down these towers. But Mineski can't dive. They don't have that engage to really force BRE back because, like I said, the Poppy will always deny the elastic slingshot coming in from the Zac. So that's one plus point for BRE. The fact that Mineski can't risk a dive versus them because it will go wrong.
Yes. And I think it's interesting that you bring that up because in exchange, that's one tool that BRE has on their side na kaya nilang utilize. What unfortunately can be cancelled out from XDXP is whenever he tries to evict targets from Mineski. Kapag na saktuan siya ng timing ng CC ni, let's say, si Halis for example, that's a little bit of a tool that BRE loses out on to try to at least put the numbers back into their advantage. And another thing that's tricky here for BRE is, in order to take down targets from Mineski, nakita naman natin kung anong resources ang kailangan nilang i-exhaust just to take down at least one member from Mineski.
Yeah, and now we're 25 minutes into this game, Arctic 10-7 in kills in favor of Mineski. Shoutout sa mga TNC players dyan. Kailangan yung panoorin tong game na to as...
Yeah.
Are they just ulted?
Yes, they'd have to ult. I think for the safety na talaga at this point. Because there's a lot of ways he could have gone down if ever just one of the CCs connect onto Ardai there. It would have been just a full collapse, a full layering of crowd control na could have sealed Ardai into another casualty, but it's like, oh,
James has flash.
James looks like BRE, they try to go for something, but Aptom, he's so low, forced to just back away, takes quite a chunk right there. Mineski, are they going to try to go for something? Looks like a little bit of an eviction, but still Mineski, they are resolute on taking out the start. Medyo mababa na yung health nito, kayang-kaya nilang i-take. At of course, at the end of the day, si Kaigo patuloy pa rin nagsislip dito sa bot lane, but oh man, that's going to be Ardai, he goes down. Mineski, are they going to try to go for the finish though? They could just go for it. Looks like inhibitors are going to be taken down one by one. Mineski, they're trying to keep BRE at bay here. Medyo mababa ang health ni GG, but everyone else is looking very healthy dito sa side ng Mineski. Saktong-sakto rin ang dating ng wave na to so that Mineski can get all the more value here. That's gonna be an inhibitor down. Make that 2. Let's see. Mineski, are they gonna try to go for the finish?
Yeah, Arctic. Ardai did not have his ultimate after he burned it in the mid lane, and that prompted Jun to go for that aggressive move. Mineski, mukhang gusto talaga nilang makatapat yung TNC in the final.
Yeah, looks like they're not gonna give any room to BRE to at least win a game. For sure. So let's go ahead and see though. I mean, we are at a point wherein the game isn't
not completely over.
Yes.
That's a plus fact. It's not completely over, but it's looking very bad for BRE.
Yeah, it's starting to spiral out of control. And it's such a shame, but okay. Yeah, you see that? Lando, this is one of the struggles right here.
Okay, that's unlucky. Lando. One more shot. Okay. That's the worst way to die, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. You miss your Naro, then you go down afterwards.
And I guess at this point, I mean, we've been talking about how it's been such a plus to see Barca XH Esports within the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game. They had that lead. But what came afterwards? Again, it all comes down to the small details that they missed out on. Kaya agad na nakahanap ng windows of opportunity ang Mineski na not only just to get back on equal ground, nakita naman natin, napakalaki na ng lead ng Mineski. We're talking about a 42.8k versus a 56.1k division.
Hindi ko alam yung math dun eh. Hindi naman ako calculator para malaman kung ano yung difference dyan. Pero Yeah, kahit na ganyan yung lead, alam natin Arctic, palaban tong BRE, hindi pa sila susuko dito.
Yeah. In all fairness, we are seeing signs of fight in them. They're just looking for that right fight that could sway in their favor. I mean, we've seen them use a lot of artillery to try to contend with Mineski kapag nag-break out na yung mga 5v5 na yun. But I think they still have that potential to at least salvage a fight that could slowly get them back into this game. It's just that so far with Mineski, how resolute they are, how proactive that they've been to mill down BRE, medyo mahirap lang hanapin yung mga oportunidad na yun.
And speaking of fights that might break out Arctic, with 2 inhibitors being down from BRE and Baron spawning, just as I said it, Mineski will head straight for that objective. BRE, if they give this up, they'll be in such a difficult spot. Pero this just looks like wala silang pwedeng gawin dito. Mineski are not giving them any options.
Exactly. Man, look at this right here. Just getting zoned out here by the traps. Not to mention, everyone else on Mineski is resolute.
Gone.
Sure, but oh no, XDXP oversteps his boundaries, gets taken down by
Now,
James.
Shanna's on the wrong side of the map.
Yep.
Trying to run away.
Buying time just a little bit here, but then again, we have to take note with Mineski securing this Baron.
Well,
BRE, that's going to be quite the defense that they have to put up to at least stay in the running here in the playoffs.
Yeah, will that Baron take be the nail in the coffin that sends Mineski to the final?
Yeah, that's going to be...
It looks very much like it, Arctic. I mean, we have to be realistic here, but BRE, if they want something to happen, they need to defend. They need to stop this push somehow, by any miracle.
Yes, and that's gonna be all inhibitors down. This could be the last stand for Barcy X-Rage Esports. Ito na nga, Mineski, they're gonna start converging on these Nexus turrets. BRE, they're trying to look for a window of opportunity.
One ahead of the finals.
Looks like XDXP, he's trying to look for something, but unfortunately that won't be the case. This is gonna be the fight right here. Barcy X-Rage Esports, unfortunately, that's gonna be Lando goes down. There goes Ardai as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be it right here. Shanna as well as XDXP, they're trying to salvage this fight, but with the numbers of BRE down without a single casualty from Mineski, this may be it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a clear finalist right here that might potentially take it into a 3-0, and that is going to be Mineski facing off DNC this Saturday at the PGS Finals. Well played.
Yeah, mukhang Mineski will be the only team to secure a 3-0 in this playoffs headed into the finals. They will be facing off versus TNC Pro Team, but man, I think regardless of that being a 3-0, BRE put up such a great fight.
I'd agree with you there. And not just a fight in this series, just the overall run in the PGS. I mean, like for those people that follow me on social media, sobrang vocal ako as to how proud I am particularly of Jaime, he's my boy, as well as Shanna, my favorite players on Bar6H Esports. You can't deny the fact na, in all fairness, kumbaga, look at it this way. Kumbaga, as far as reaching a champion, it might not be their time yet. Pero ang importante kasi,
It's their first split.
yeah, it's their first split, and you also have to give credit to the fact na first split nila, pero ang ganda ng naging improvement nila. So of course, with that though, we've been talking about the positives for BRE with their run. For Mineski though, top form, MVP as well.
Not
I have to give it
dropping a single game.
Exactly. And of course, without dropping a single game, we also have to give credit to our MVP, which is James, who is the player of the game. He performed absolutely beautifully. I mean, almost everybody on Mineski, in all fairness, they really played their hearts out. Not just, I mean, with the passion, but also you have to give credit to how calculated they were, right down to even the most minute detail.
Yeah, even though, even with BRE putting up such a big fight, even though game 1 did last quite a bit, Mineski still were able to pull out on top. So yeah, congratulations to Mineski.
Okay, so with that though, syempre update natin ang mga summoners natin dyan kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng lahat ng naging resulta ng semifinals natin. So, of course, I'm quite proud to say this is gonna be what I was expecting actually to be the dream finals
It's
para
top
sa
1 and
season
top
na
2,
to.
Arctic.
There you go, exactly. So at the end of the day, everybody putting up a great fight to try to make the finals, but of course, whoever triumphed in the group stage are gonna be making it all the way to the finals. Of course, that is gonna be TNC Pro Team and Mineski. Gaya nga na nakikita natin sa screen yung mga guys. That's gonna be on March 17. This Saturday na agad, magkakaalaman na kung sino ang magiging champion ng PGS at magiging representative natin going into the Garena Premier League later on.
Alam mo, kahit sino manalo dito, I definitely think that they will perform well headed into the GPL. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see till this Saturday.
I agree with you there. So of course, congratulations ulit to Mineski as well as to TNC Pro Team. Very well deserved to makita natin. And, I mean, like I said, I couldn't think of a better two teams to face off in the finals than these two right here. So, of course, ladies and gents, dito muna magko-conclude ang ating semifinals. But of course, gaya ng sabi ko, when we come back on Saturday, magkakaalaman na. We're gonna settle things once and for all. For the meantime, we're gonna be saying our farewells. So now we have been your casters, Arctic Cat with Service Fam. Siyempre kasama ko si Chisto. Once again, ito ang 2018 Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Spring Playoffs. Kita-kits tayo sa finals. But for the meantime, have a great night, guys. See ya. Esports, they're ready for round 2. They try to go for Gary, but looks like Tichi gonna go for the ultimate. Actually evicts James just to make sure that the numbers are still balanced between both sides. It looks like BRE, they're trying to back away. That's gonna be the W. That's a nice team to initiate. Taigu getting the kill onto Ardidal. This is gonna be an all-out brawl. Bar 6 Esports, they want to convert onto Mineski. A lot of low health bars though. Looks like BRE, they were destined to win this fight. Double kill for Apdong, and looks like that will be the end of it. Here comes the rest of Mineski to try to balance things out. Is this gonna be a cut into a full-on fight? Lando joins the as well, but here comes Gary. But ooh, the damage from James is just too much. As Shana will be the first casualty in the fight. Looks like XDXP might be the next. Unfortunately, it's not able to evict anybody from the members of the Mineski. Passive will be popped up for a team to make him survive to tell the tale. That's going to be the ultimate pop up by Gary. PG does not land the dodge binding though. Looks like the rest of BRE, they're trying to disperse, but XDXP is going to go down. James is now on a rampage. That Syndra is hurting tomorrow. But Lando, oh, he tries to make a play, but gets dark. He gets blinded.
Oh, Arna's still going.
Is he gonna get anything out of this? He's looking very, very low. But looks like Kaigu is gonna clean things up. BRE, they try to go for more things. Third, it's BRE, they're trying to look for a window of opportunity.
One out of the finals.
Looks like XDXP, he's trying to look for something, but unfortunately that won't be the case. This is gonna be the fight right here. Varsity X-Ray Esports, unfortunately, that's gonna be Lando who goes down. There goes Ardai as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be it right here. Shana as well as XDXP, they're trying to salvage this fight, but with the numbers of BRE down without a single casualty from Mineski, this may be it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a clear finalist right here that might potentially take it into a 3-0, and that is going to be Mineski facing off DNC this Saturday at the PGS Finals. Well played.
Yeah, Mineski will be the only team to